WXII 12 News at 4 starts right now.
It was a violent weekend in the Triad in Winston-Salem. 2 people were killed and 2 others injured in shootings, and it was a similar story in Greensboro.
WXII 12's Maria DeBone joins us this afternoon in Greensboro after speaking with investigators there. Maria, what have you learned?
Well, an assistant chief here with the Greensboro Police Department said they typically don't see this level of violence. Now, in Greensboro, there were 5 separate shootings. 4 people were injured and 2 others killed. Greensboro Police Assistant Chief for the Criminal Investigations Bureau, Doug Tabler, said he doesn't want this weekend's violence to deter the public from going out enjoying Greensboro.
Be diligent while you're out. If things start turning a certain way, call the police, give us an opportunity to, diffuse a situation or leave. Parents know where your children are going, who they're going there with, and have a good, strong line of communication with them. But our city has so much to offer. I would hate to discourage folks from going out and enjoying it.
And Tabler said they do tend to see an increase in call volume and crime once the summer hits. Now, to help with that, they partnered with groups to offer events and programs to help people, give something for them to do and help them to deter from the violence. I'll have more on that coming up at 6. For now, in Greensboro, Maria DeBone, WXII 12 News.
Maria, thank you. Some closure, but also lots of questions this afternoon for the family of a man who had been missing since 2019. Investigators found Aaron Wood's body after a week-long search at a property in southwest Winston-Salem. Now we are hearing from his loved ones. WXII 12's Joshua Davis joins us live this afternoon from Everidge Road near the search site. And Joshua, you spoke with Wood's cousin today.
I did, Kenny, and his cousin said that growing up, they were a very tight-knit family, and that family is still processing the truth of what happened to Aaron Woods.
The feeling was shock, sadness.
Winston-Salem police found Aaron Woods' body buried on a property on Everidge Road in Winston-Salem. He'd been missing since 2019. His cousin, Chris Wood, says because of Aaron's job in construction, it wasn't unusual for it to take time to hear back from him. But this situation is the one they feared the most.
When you go through the process and you think about it, you just, there's a sadness, that he could have died and that he may have died violently.
Kenneth Cox was arrested in connection to Wood's murder and appeared in court Monday morning. He's charged with concealing a human body that died of unnatural causes and could be facing a sentence of 17 years. Chris says his family just wants to know the truth.
And he was buried on a piece of property without giving the people that cared about him the opportunity to mourn him or celebrate him. And that's not fair.
Chris says the family still has questions about what led to this, but more than anything, they hope Aaron knew they loved him.
Like I said, you just think back about how that transpired and so long ago, and you had no idea, and you just hope that that those final moments that they knew they had family, that they knew that they had friends and people that cared about them.
Cox's next court date is set for June 29th. Chris also told me and tells others to treasure their family and to take time to show them that you love them. In Winston-Salem, I'm Joshua Davis for WXII 12 News.
They're underway for former President Donald Trump to make his first appearance in a federal courtroom in Miami tomorrow. He faces a 37-count federal indictment for allegations he willfully retained classified documents after leaving the White House and then conspired to hide them from investigators. NBC's Alice Barr reports.
Security preparations increasing in Miami Monday ahead of former President Donald Trump's Tuesday appearance inside this federal courthouse.
We hope that tomorrow will be peaceful. We encourage people to be peaceful in them demonstrating how they feel. And we're going to have the adequate forces necessary to ensure that.
Trump will face a total of 37 criminal charges, the majority for alleged violations of the Espionage Act. He denies any wrongdoing and in his first public remarks since the indictment was unsealed, railed against the charges brought by the Department of Justice.
It's a horrible thing for this country. I mean, the only good thing about it is it's driven my poll numbers way up. Can you believe that?
The federal indictment details the locations where Trump allegedly stored classified documents at his Mar-a-Lago estate in Florida, including in a ballroom, a bathroom and shower, and a storage room. Trump's own former Attorney General William Barr.
Those documents are among the most sensitive secrets that the country has. He had no right to maintain them and retain them, and he kept them in a way at Mar-a-Lago that anyone who really cares about national security their stomach would churn at it.
Meanwhile, some of the former president's allies coming to his defense.
Was that a good look for the former president to have boxes in a bathroom?
I don't know. Is it a good picture to have boxes in a garage that opens up all the time? A bathroom door locks.
In Miami, I'm Chris Wynn reporting.
4 people have lost their home and their dog died in a house fire in Kernersville. The Winston-Salem Fire Department posted this helmet cam footage on their Twitter feed. Crews responded to the fire on Iris Street just after 2 o'clock this morning. The fire department says this has been under control for hours now. They are trying to figure out exactly how it started.
New today, Senate Republicans introduced a bill that would change the makeup of the State Board of Elections and the County Board of Elections across the state. The bill would increase the number of members on the state board from 5 to 8. It would split appointments between Democrats and Republicans in the General Assembly. The County Board of Elections would shrink from 5 members to 4. Republicans say the measure would address concerns about partisanship in election administration.
North Carolinians deserve to have confidence in the elections process, and we believe this bill moves us in that direction.
Past attempts by the Republican-led legislature to overhaul the Elections Board have been struck down as unconstitutional, but Republicans now also control a majority on the state Supreme Court. And you are looking live at our Winston-Salem Skycam. Not a really beautiful picture out there right now after a wet end to your weekend. How is the rest of your Monday looking? Dave Aiken is in the WXI 12 First Warning Weather Center with a first look at the forecast. Well, a lot of clouds out there, Dave.
Yes, clouds, but some sun for some folks out there too, Christine. There's a little bit of something for everybody out there. We had some rain in early this morning. That went out of the way. We've seen some spotty showers this afternoon, but things have kind of waned a little bit. We've seen a lot of that diminish, a lot of that activity. We'll look at the radar in a second. First of all, temperatures right now, 81 in Winston-Salem, some 70s, upper 70s, Rockingham, Guilford County, 84 in Burlington, where the sun's been out. A good dose of that sunshine there today. And the winds have picked up a little bit out of the west and the northwest, especially right across the Piedmont Triad, and that's where a front is moving through even as we speak. A cold front pushing through, and it's going to start to dry things out as we go on into the remainder of this afternoon and then on into the evening hours too. Temperatures up in the mountains in the 60s, quite comfortable up there, and they're starting to dry out a little bit already as well. There's the showers that are out there right now. Very spotty across the region. There has been a decent little cell down over portions just coming out of Mecklenburg County, Cabarrus County, and pushing on off to the east a little bit further. That had some severe criteria to it a little earlier. But across the Triad, things have been fairly quiet. You can see a few showers over portions of Randolph County. No lightning reported with it. And then you can see back off to the north of that over northern parts of Alamance County, parts of Caswell County. Little shower activity here and there. We're still in this marginal risk for portions of the Piedmont, the eastern Piedmont, Randolph County, Alamance County for a little while longer. I think we'll be dropped from this from the Storm Prediction Center before too long. So our late evening forecast looks pretty good. We'll see partly cloudy skies to mostly clear skies. Temperatures into the 60s. Upper 50s in the mountains around 9 or 10 o'clock tonight. Some drier air pushing into the forecast area for the day tomorrow. Temperature still a little bit below normal for your Tuesday, and then we'll start to warm up as we get into a little bit later on in the week. We'll have your 7-day forecast coming up in just a little bit.
Dave, thank you very much. Wake Forest's historic baseball season continues with a trip to Omaha and the College World Series. The Demon Deacons annihilated Alabama 22-5 over the weekend to punch their ticket. Wake fans are already making plans to follow the teams in their quest for a College World Series championship. Amber Blecker is a diehard fan and season ticket holder. She's been a college baseball fan for a good chunk of her life and adopted Wake as her team when she moved to Winston-Salem. She could tell early on that this group was special, and she says it's been awfully fun watching the crowds grow from the diehards who braved the cold in February to the sellouts this past weekend. Blecker has been to Omaha for the College World Series in the past, but she says this one will be extra special.
There's no place like Omaha. It is a fantastic stadium. The town seems to completely support the event, that it's not just something that happens there, it's something that they embrace. And to be able to experience that with a team that I believe in and I support so strongly is a dream.
College World Series won't begin until Friday, and we don't know who Wake is going to play just yet. We do know the Deacs will play the winner of tonight's Texas-Stanford Super Regional game.
So again, Wake will either play Texas or Stanford. Right now, their series is tied. The winner will be decided this evening at 8 o'clock. And we will be following the Demon Deacons to Omaha. You can look for those reports later this week right here on WXII.